All right, hey, what's going on, guys? How do you do? It's your boy Gray here. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, we're going to be starting things off with Black Ops Cold War content. One of the best ways I know how, with the first day beginner tips and tricks video. I've done this type of video for the last 3 years, I think. We're going to keep it going. So we're going to break this video down into several different topics regarding Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, and hopefully this is going to be information that you can utilize throughout Black Ops Cold War. If you guys are brand new around here, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, drop a like on today's video, and with all that said, let's get into this. Real quick, I also want to say this is going to be information that's going to be catered more towards console players in regards to PC players and stuff like that. This is more for console players because myself, I'm a console player, so just keep that in mind. Let's start things off by talking about some specific settings that you guys should use. So the footage that you guys are seeing here is all from the Black Ops Cold War beta. Let's start things off with a few settings that I feel you should definitely use in Black Ops Cold War. I will 100% make a full video on all of my settings once the game releases, because I'm sure they're going to be adding more setting options than what we had during the beta and the alpha. But with that said, let's start things off here, man. Let's talk about controller settings. So right off the bat, the first tab here, controllers. When we're looking at horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity, I personally believe that that's all preference. Higher sensitivity doesn't necessarily mean that you're a better player, that you're going to play better, and a lower sensitivity doesn't mean the same either. But me personally, during the beta, I found that my perfect sense was a 9.9. Next up, we're looking at the low zoom and high zoom ADS stick sensitivity. Now, me personally, for the last 2 years, for the last year, I've actually been using a 0.7 or a 0.75. I used that for Modern Warfare, and I've used 0.70 for Black Ops Cold War during the beta. I found that with the 0.70, I was really hitting my shots a lot better than anything else. So, that's the one I went with. When it comes to button layout, that is completely up to you, completely optional. But me personally, guys, I use tactical. I like the ability to crouch or to go prone by clicking an R3. When it comes to boots on the ground kind of games, tactical is always the way that I like to run, because I'm like the drop shot guy. I like to use the drop shot ability, although you can't really drop shot in this game unless you have a specific attachment. But yeah, I still like tactical. And it should be noted that I actually use the PlayStation official back button attachment. You can find this on GameStop, Amazon, Best Buy, if you get lucky, you can find it online for about $30, I believe. But I do use paddles, but I do use it on the regular PlayStation 4 controller. I use the paddles, and I can map the paddles to whatever buttons I prefer, but I still like using tactical button layout when it comes to these kind of games. A lot of people like to flip their L1 and L2 and R2 and R1 buttons. I think that's completely up to you. I use it as default. I'm just used to using R2 to shoot and L2 to ADS. So it's to each their own. When we're talking about controller vibration, that is a setting that for the last 4 years, I've basically just always disabled that. So it completely, up to you guys. When it comes to first-person shooters or shooters games in general, I don't feel like you need anything vibrating or moving your hand. I feel like it could be a distraction sometimes. Again, to each their own though. But me personally, I like to disable it. When it comes to stick layout and the whole left stick and right stick, the input, the threshold and stuff like that, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I really didn't mess around with that stuff, and I think I'm waiting for somebody with the right information to let me know what I should be doing, or how I should have it set up. So for the moment, I just left it as is, and I'll probably wait for exclusive Ace or JGod to do an in-depth video on what we should be looking out for that stuff. So this was a big thing, field of view. Now, I found that the field of view at 90 was really what I felt most comfortable with. At the end of the day, you need to find what works for you. I believe Modern Warfare runs at 80 field of view. The field of view is 80 for Modern Warfare. So completely up to you guys, completely up to what size screen you guys have and what you feel comfortable using. I tested 80, I tested 90, I tested 100, and I tested 110 and 120, and I found personally 90 to be my favorite and what I felt the most comfortable using. The option for motion blur, disable that. That has to be disabled, man. I'm telling you right now. When it comes to audio presets, we didn't really have access to a lot of different options like we do in Modern Warfare, but I'm sure when the game releases, we'll have access to a bunch of different options. So I can say for the beta, the high boost worked really well for me, so that might be one to consider. Next one here, the interface. I mean, this is when you talk about customization, this is really going to come down to whatever you prefer. For example, I'm used to having subtitles. I've used subtitles in Call of Duty for years, so I'm used to it, but I know a lot of people might not like that. So, you know, completely up to you guys there. When it comes to HUD elements, the only thing that I changed was actually the ally health bar. Like, I didn't really care about seeing how much health my teammates had. I just felt like that information wasn't useful to me. So I hope some of those settings were useful for you guys, and I hope you put them to use, and let me know what you think, man. But moving on here, let's talk about operators. So just like Modern Warfare, operators are purely cosmetic. They don't have any abilities. They don't do anything special. They all have the same register hitbox. It's just about, you know, what do you want it to look like out in the field. So for the beta and the alpha, I believe we had 10, and I'm sure they're going to be just like Modern Warfare. I'm sure they're going to be implementing more and more operators throughout the life cycle of Black Ops Cold War. My personal favorite, guys, the guy that I was basically using the entire time, is actually Stone. I just like I don't know, I like the ski mask. He was my favorite one to use, but I mean, they're all cool. All right, moving on here, let's talk about weapons. We had access to a handful of guns during the alpha and the beta. Just from experience, I can tell you guys, submachine guns feel very dominant out in the field. I mean, the Milano 821, which was the Uzi, and also the AK-74U, the MP5, and what ended up being one of my favorite guns, surprisingly enough, was that 3-round burst KSP-45. Like, these guns, they were just all working. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments made to the weapon balancing, and, you know, it could be, it is probable, it's possible that these weapons might be lowered as far as damage and range and what they were capable of doing during the beta. So I guess we'll see when the game officially releases. But you know what, man? Do not sleep on these assault rifles. That XM4 is a slapper. AK-47 was low-key really good and extremely sturdy. Prig 6 with the right setup was a monster. The QBZ was really good as well. I mean, like I'm telling you, all of these guns, they were good to use. I feel like you can't really go wrong with the XM4 and the MP5. I mean, those are the starter guns that we get. So usually starter weapons are usually they perform really well. And oh boy, man, the snipers. I mean, listen, I guess at the end of the day, you have to kind of have a decent shot to really use the snipers. You know, you got to be somewhat of a good sniper, a decent sniper, but these things were extremely powerful, and if you practice, if you're good at sniping, yeah, utilize these snipers, man. They were very powerful, although they did say, just a warning, they did say that the snipers were going to get nerfed for the actual game, so just keep that in mind. They did say that they were a bit overpowered during the beta and alpha because they were recording, they were just gathering information, so I guess we'll see. When it comes to secondaries, I can really only speak off of my experience during the beta and alpha and beta. I was mainly just rocking either a shotgun or a launcher. I didn't really touch the pistols. So I'll tell you straight up, man, that Gallo SA-12 or the Spaz shotgun is probably the best secondary to have. They'll be implementing more shotguns. Even I believe they're even adding a fully automatic shotgun as well. So just keep that in mind. But I feel like a shotgun is a fantastic. And this is coming from me, somebody who doesn't even use shotguns. If you know me, you know that I'm not really the shotgun guy. I try to stay away from shotguns, but I saw that they were really crucial in Cold War, in the multiplayer. So, you know, I used the shotgun as a secondary, and it held its own. And we get up to this next part here, the field upgrade. I'm going to tell you right now, without a shadow of a doubt, the best field upgrade is the field mic. If you put the field mic in the proper area, it's basically like having advanced UAV in a specific spot. So if you put it in the right place on the map, you can just see people coming your way, and you can just be ready for every engagement. Basically just shows you once they step foot within that field mic radius, it basically just shows you you know, exactly where they are. They did say they were going to nerf it, so I guess we'll see what that nerf is. But when it comes to all of the field upgrades that we had access to, I can tell you the field mic was the best. best. The jammer was really good as well. The proximity mine is good also, but in my personal opinion, the field mic was the best. When it comes to perk 1, I felt like engineer was a good, starter perk, especially if you're shooting down score streaks, or if you're just interested in figuring out where somebody's hiding. Maybe they're placing a trap somewhere. You can see the traps. You can use that engineer perk. It's the same as it's always been. So engineer is good. I felt like tactical mask was probably the best perk 1, probably alongside the flak jacket as well. So tactical mask, flak jacket are all great perk 1s. It's gonna be up to you depending on what to call the wild card you choose, what wild card you select. Following that here, perk 2, scavenger. I mean, scavenger works really well, and a lot of times you are going to be running out of ammo, and scavenger helps you replenish that ammo. So really good. I honestly felt like the only other good one is probably quartermaster. And then we get to perk 3, the perk 3 slot, which basically has all the utilities here. This is it's tough because all of these perks in perk 3 are great, and they can make or break your game style, your gameplay. Only using one and not having any of the others, or not being able to use 2, I mean, it sucks. But gung-ho, fantastic perk to use, especially if you're always on the move. Gung-ho is great. Ghost, you do have to be moving in order for it to be effective, but I did find that it was effective, especially because I found that a lot of people were spamming that UAV because score streaks don't reset, so a lot of people were getting their UAVs. Cold-blooded, if you don't really care about the AI controlled score streaks and stuff like that, they won't be able to target you with cold-blooded on. But if you don't care about that, I understand why that might not be a perk that a lot of people go for. But I will tell you this, ninja is a must-have perk. Ninja perk is probably going to be in every single one of my setups. It just keeps you stealthy, keeps you quiet for the most part. Out in the field, you'll still be a little bit loud, especially if you're running, and if they have really good headphones, they still probably be able to hear you. But if you're just walking or crouch walking or aim down sight walking, ninja is a fantastic perk for Cold War. I guess we made it here to wild cards. So I'll be 100% with you guys. They only, they gave us 4 wild cards. I don't know if they're going to be adding any more. But the one that I utilized the most was that perk greed. It lets you pick 2 perks in every slot. So perk 1, you get 2 perks. Perk 2, you get 2 perks. Perk 3, you get 2 perks. Lawbreaker is another good one, for the early game, because obviously perk greed, you're going to have to unlock that a little bit down the road. So Lawbreaker is good as well. And I guess the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is ranking up. I mean, what's the fastest way to rank up? I mean, I feel like you can't really go wrong with game modes like Team Deathmatch. You can't really go wrong with game modes like Hardpoint, Domination, Kill Confirm. These are all great game modes to get into to help you rank up and gain a lot of XP. You can also utilize the whole Doritos, XP codes and Tostitos XP codes and stuff like that to, pop XP tokens. Yeah, man, I think that's about everything I wanted to go over. First day beginner tips and tricks videos here. I hope you guys enjoyed the information. I hope you enjoyed the content and everything that we talked about in today's video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to as many people as I can. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, drop a like on today's video. It would really help out. Guarantee you guys, we are going to be covering a lot of Call of Duty Cold War content, whether it's tips and tricks, bundle reviews, blueprints, class setups. We're gonna be doing a lot, live streaming here on YouTube and on Twitch as well. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff, so make sure to stick around the channel and subscribe. We are partnered with Control Freak, so if you guys are ever interested in any Control Freak products, you guys can check out the link in the description below, and you can use code GRAY at checkout for 10% off. I actually use Control Freaks. I utilize one right there on my right stick. If you guys are looking to support the channel in an extra way, we actually offer 3 different levels of memberships here. So, think about that. And if you want, not by any means, it is not mandatory. It's just, completely optional. But we do offer a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3 membership. Each have their own perks. Feel free to give me a follow on social media, Twitter, Instagram. A link to everything in the description below. And last thing I want to plug here is that we usually stream on Twitch whenever we upload a video. So we will be live streaming on Twitch often during Black Ops Cold War. So feel free to give us a follow over there on Twitch. Once again, a link in the description below. And yeah, man, I think I'm going to call it there. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you, enjoyed the information. I'm going to back out of here. Good luck, Black Ops Cold War. Best of luck to you guys. Till the next one. My name is Gray. Peace.